Hi there. In this lesson, you're going to add a score element to a heads-up display within a game. In my Unity project file, I have a game scene here created, and it's just a real basic chicken game where the player is a chicken and they control the chicken to run around, and basically the chicken then collects these clumps of grass, which I've called food over here in my hierarchy. Now, when the chicken runs into those clumps of grass, each one of them has a box collider around them. You can see the faint box collider around each one of these clumps of grass. And when the chicken collides into that box collider, I want the clump of grass or the food to disappear, to be destroyed. And I also want the player's score to increase. So we're going to make that happen using a heads-up display. A heads-up display is basically an overlay. It's like text and different types of visuals that go on top of whatever you see in the gameplay. So we're going to add that. It's a two-dimensional element, but it's also in the UI system, and we're going to add it directly to our game scene. So to do that, first I'm going to right-click over here, and I'm going to add a new text UI game object. And once I add that, you'll see that a canvas has been added, and that is a two-dimensional area. It's a rectangle, basically, that is added to our game scene. And anything that's on that canvas will be displayed as an overlay on top of the actual game scene during gameplay. And that's where you get your heads-up display components. Then we have our text, and this text I'm going to rename to Score UI, so that way I know that this is the actual text that displays the score to the player. We also have another game object called Event System. We're not going to do a whole lot with Event System, but what the Event System does is basically tells Unity how to handle different types of inputs for the user interface and for that heads-up display. We're not going to do a whole lot there, but let's take a look at the canvas. And it's very difficult to see the canvas and all of its game objects in this view. So what I'm going to do is change this to a 2D view. And you can toggle that very easily by selecting this 2D button at the top of the scene editor. And that will just switch me over to a two-dimensional view. And you can start to see the corner of the canvas game object, which is right here. And it always starts the corner in the origin. So that's 0, 0, 0 in my game space. Now, to get a better look at the full canvas, I'm going to double click on the canvas game object. And now I can see the full canvas game object presented on the screen here. Now, I'm going to pan over just to center it a little bit more. But this rectangle tool up here is very important whenever you're dealing with any two-dimensional object that's in the game object of the canvas. Anything that's in a UI game object or something that's in the heads-up display, you're going to use this rectangle tool quite a bit in order to reposition the game objects and also to be able to scale them and resize them as well. So remember this rectangle tool up here. I'm going to go back to my text game object now, and you can see it very faintly clear down here in the corner. It's awful small. And I'm going to make some changes over here in the inspector for that game object. First of all, so that we can see it a little bit better. The first thing I'm going to do is go down here to color, and I'm going to change it to white. So that way I can see white text on a black or background that's a lot darker there. And then once I do that, I'm also going to change my font size so we can make it a little bit bigger. And we want our game objects on our canvas for our heads-up display. We want them to be pretty large. So I'm going to go with a size of 72. Now that might be too large, but we'll see here in just a moment. And as you can see, the text has disappeared. It's not there anymore. And the reason for that is because my rectangle or my game object is too small. So I'm going to select the corner using that rectangle tool. And using the rect tool, I can also then reposition it so that it's up here and somewhere in the center. I could put it, on the left side if I wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and center my score. And to get my alignment correct, I'm going to come over here to the alignment property and horizontally center it and also vertically center it. So now it's centered inside there, and I can make some changes here if I need to reposition it to make it where I want it to be. And then we can also change the text directly here as well. Now we're going to use a script later on to change the text. So I'm just going to put like a default text in there for right now. That's not what actually is going to be shown on the screen when we run our script. So the other thing that I can do is change the font. Now the default font is Arial, and that's okay. You can use Arial if you want to, but you'll also find a fonts folder that's set up in the project file, and you can add any type of true type font file in here that you'd like. So if you find some online for free that you want to use, I'm just going to choose one that I think looks really good with my game. It kind of gives it a cartoon appearance to it. And we're going to use that font, and you can also change the font style if you'd like, change it to bold, make it italicized if you'd like to. I'm just going to use the normal font style. And you can also change line spacing, several other things you can do. I'm also going to change horizontal overflow from wrap to overflow. And what this does is basically if my score gets too large, let's say it's like 1 billion or something like that, some astronomically large number, and it can't fit within that rectangle, it can overflow that rectangle and it'll still display it on the screen for the player. And that's basically what I'm telling Unity to do here by changing this horizontal overflow to overflow. So now that I have my score game object right where I would like it to be, I can see what this is going to look like in game view by selecting the game tab. Now this doesn't actually take me into play mode where I can move the chicken around and actually play the game. It just shows me what that heads up display overlay is going to look like on top of the game scene. And I think it looks pretty good. Now again, it's not going to say the word score, it'll actually replace that with a numerical value. And in order for that to happen, we need to add a script. So let's go back to scene view again, and I'm going to take off the 2D. I'm going to toggle this so we can go back into 3D, and I'm going to select my player chicken game object. The player chicken game object is where all of the scripts are going to live and where the magic is going to basically happen. So on the player chicken game object in the inspector, we can see that we've already got a player controls script added. This is what allows the player to move that chicken around on the screen. But it doesn't do anything when the chicken actually collides with any of the food game objects. So in order for that to work, we need to add another script. I'm going to go into the scripts folder, and I'm going to find my collision controller script. And then I'm going to drag the collision controller script over into the inspector to add it as another component to the player chicken game object. Now with the collision controller script added to the inspector window now, I can see all these different properties. We're not going to use all of them, we'll just use a few of them to make this script functional in our game. The first thing that I'd like to do is have it destroy or make these grass objects, these food game objects, disappear upon impact. In order to do that, I'm going to destroy collectibles. So I'm going to select that. And basically, any game object that is tagged as a collectible will be destroyed upon impact with the player chicken. The next item is the score UI, and that is our score up in the heads-up display. We need to assign it a text game object. Well, that's what we just created. So I can select this circle dot icon and find my score UI text and add that to the score UI property in the component. I also would like to increase the score's value by 1 every time that the food game objects are collected or hit by the player chicken game object. So I've changed it to increase score by a value of 1. I'm not going to decrease the score by anything. This is only used if I have game objects that are tagged as an enemy. I'm not destroying any enemy game objects, and I don't need to decrease the score because I have no enemy game objects in my game scene. This might be something you would decide to add to your game scene later on in the lesson. Now, in order for this script to work, we have to be very careful with tags. So each game object can be tagged a different tag item. When you select the tag dropdown, it'll give you some tag items to choose from. I've chosen the player tag for the player chicken game object. If there's a tag not available in here to select from, you can always add a tag. But be cautious because tags are case sensitive and they need to be spelled and typed exactly as displayed. So for example, in order for my collectible tag to work, I have to spell it exactly as this with a capital C in order for the script to work. So I have my player tag assigned to the player chicken game object. Let's expand the food game object and look at each one of the different grass game objects that are under food and make sure that these are also tagged as a collectible. Looks like we're good here. And I'll just go through each one of these, and all of them are already tagged as a collectible. If they're not, make sure that they are, because otherwise your script won't actually work with those game objects. So now let's give this a try and see if the script works as we intend it to. I'm going to enter play mode. And once we're in play mode here, you can see that it no longer says score, it says 0, which is in fact my actual score. So I can move my chicken around a little bit here, and we can look around for some food, go forward, and then every time it collects these collectible game objects, all of the food game objects, every time that it collects one, the game object disappears as we intended, and it increases my score by a value of 1. Now maybe you would like for it to say something beside the numerical value of the score. Maybe you don't want it to just show the number. In order to do that, you'll have to hack some of the code. So let's exit play mode right now. And if you're comfortable with using some of the C# scripts in an editor, you can double click on the C# script in Unity and it should open in any type of editor or IDE that you have installed on your machine. This is the code that essentially causes all of the collisions to work correctly in my game. Now, as you can see, there are lots of different functions in here. Some of the functions handle the score increasing, some of them handle the score decreasing. We don't want to change any of the computations that are in the script. All we want to do is change what's actually updated and displayed on the screen. So to do that, we're going to take a look at the update function within the script. Here you can see the scoreUI.text, which is our text game object, equals the score, and that's basically an integer. And it's changing it to a string value. We're not going to get into that right now, but it's basically showing just that numerical value. If I wanted to have a string in front of that, I can add it within quotation marks, say something like score, colon, with a space after it, and then I'm going to use the plus or adding operator to bring my score value and my string text together on the screen. So you can use any word here. It might be food or whatever you might choose. The important thing is once you've made your update, make sure to save your C# script file. And then we can return to Unity and test it out. Once you're back in Unity, it'll take a little bit of time for the script to compile and reload all the assemblies within Unity. But once that's done, go ahead and select the play button, and we can test out the updates we've made to our script in the game. Now you can see that the word score is presented in front of our actual score value. And if I move my chicken around and start collecting some of these collectible game objects, each food game object still disappears and is destroyed, and my score value continues to increase by a value of 1 as intended. Now it's your turn to create a user interface element that shows the player their score in the heads-up display.